Hello team, Army of Light, Earth Division, the boots on the ground at Shawna L. Francis. Today is April 25th, 2023. Seems like forever again, these weeks just, there's so much going on. I'm so happy to be speaking with you again. It's great to see all of you again. I hope you're all doing amazing and riding the waves of energy here and staying above the fray and above the chaos and seeing the bigger picture and knowing yourselves as absolutely perfect and divine in every way. I love you, team. I'm so glad that you're here. So much love and support. It's back to rainbows and unicorns the last couple of weeks here, just feeling so good, feeling so loved and supported. I'm so very thankful. So thankful. Let's see here. This last week, I'm going to give you an update on the solar eclipse that happened the night of April 19th. We'll get into that. We have an experiment that I'm going to tell you about from Melchizedek, how you can connect to them more deeply and to know yourselves as deeply loved as Melchizedek sees you. So that's incredibly amazing. We'll talk more about what's going on with the Galactic Federation of Light and the 3 lieutenants and just where things are headed. So I'm basically running a spiritual retreat here at the casitas, and I've had 4 women here. Incredible. It's been an incredible 10 days or so. We've got a few more days. And it really just came together very much ad hoc with one of our Army of Light members who said, I think, we need to do some work for the solar eclipse down at the casitas. So I talked to a couple other people. They're like, yes, we feel this. So we've just had this powerhouse of light workers down here. I'm learning so much. And the themes here really with us women has been a lot of heart opening this last week, a lot of exploring of our own unique gifts as light workers. We've got tarot reading here, we've got light language, we have light codes, we have just all around exceptional sight, like seeing what's going on, clairvoyant, clairaudient, all this clairsentience, all of our gifts kind of coming through, also cycling of energy. There's been a lot of crying, a lot of hugging, a lot of sharing. I think even collectively, we're really ready to release a lot of trauma that we've been carrying, not only for ourselves in this lifetime, but for our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents, the ancestral line all the way up. So this may be part of, if you're feeling kind of heavy or burdened down by heavy emotions, know that it may not just be you, that you may have said before you incarnated here that you are going to help balance the karma, release contracts with any kind of burdens or patterns that may be present in your ancestral line, in your lineage. So this stuff just kind of kept getting passed down generation to generation to generation. And now that Mother Earth is ascending, we're running out of time to really balance out these karmic debts. And so a lot of us light workers have taken on a huge burden to help rectify that, to transmute that energy, to create new patterns and move on into new cycles. All right, so a lot of that. So anyway, my heart's just bursting with love for these women, our soul family, being able to do this in person. I can't wait to do more of this down here as time allows, as the team guides me to do that. So it's been really nice to share this place too, to be honest. All right, so April 19th, the day of the eclipse, I met with Melchizedek for a shortened meeting. I'm not really thinking of this time with Melchizedek as meditation. I'm more so sitting with them because there's a lot of energy work. There's a communion that's happening. There's an exchange of dialogue. It's become more of a collaboration. And I'm so honored to be able to do that with them. It's just, it still has me in tears a lot of the times. It's blowing my mind. It's blowing my heart wide open. It's just been so lovely. All right. Tier 1, they said, would it be all right with you to travel back up to the conference room and do more speaking about some of the questions that we have? And I said, absolutely, Melchizedek, I'd be honored. They said, all right, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, they said, okay, we're going to help you get there. I said, wonderful. So I hit pause on my recording and maybe took 20-30 minutes, and I find myself back in that conference room that I talked about last week. And again, it's like in a ship type environment. I can't tell if we're really on a ship or if it's just another one of these kind of shared constructs, but it certainly feels real, and it seems like this might be the place where these consciousness would get together and meet. But it was kind of funny because it's kind of like, imagine like, okay, we're going to bring this meeting to order. Everybody get settled. It was one of those kind of feels when I kind of finally got to that conference room. It's like somebody getting everybody's attention to get quiet. The order of Melchizedek is now ready to begin, I heard. And then I heard, thank you, Shawna, dear one, for joining us again today. How are you? I said, I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. I'm feeling great and I'm ready to go. And I'm excited for tonight's eclipse. Okay. They said, wonderful. I was hearing, thank you. We've been discussing all the input that we've received from you and from your constituents as well. This is you guys. And we'd like to propose a plan, they said. I said, beautiful. They said, Melchizedek will engage at the individual singularity level with those who receive these transmissions. And because this is a free will society, those who wish to have a deeper connection with us, an experience with us, and a connection to your own divinity, we ask that you please articulate these requests out loud with spoken words. We would also recognize handwritten words such as in a journal. They said, Shawna, this is a bit of an experimentation for us. It is an experiment. And we're not exactly sure how this will go, but we are willing to give it a good try. This is so exciting. They said, a unique, personalized experience for those who ask for it. Please bring us your questions, they said, your comments. Please open your hearts to receive us. Please allow there to be time and space for you to receive us. We would recommend sitting quietly for as long as possible each day after making the request and repeating the request often. The experiences will vary by person, and we imagine that some may not receive our intended message in the intended way, but we will continue to make an effort to make that connection. They said here, may each of you know yourselves in the way that we know you, in your perfection, in and as love, fearless, powerful, and free. May each of you know the way that we love you, unconditional and without limits. They said here, we ask that you release any expectations around what this connection may be for you, for that actually places limitations on what may be possible. Again, team, the power of intention, okay. They said here, we shall do our best to help you know who and what you are in truth, for you to know how you serve in truth, to recognize your innate divinity and your perfection. And they said, Shawna, Melchizedek will also continue to expand this outreach beyond your constituents to the greater whole of humanity. All right. I know that so many of you have already been asking questions of your teams, already have been requesting a deeper connection. You're going to want to do it again. And you're going to want to direct this directly to Melchizedek, all right? And then let go of any thoughts around, okay, this is going to be like this, it's going to sound like this, it's going to look like this, it's going to feel like this. Release all those expectations and just be open to receive what comes, and be at peace knowing that you've put out that strong intention and that it will be answered in whatever way, shape, or form they feel is best, or however they feel like they can connect with you, where it's a tangible connection. So it's an experiment. We're going to give this a try. And I'm just trying to feel in here. You know, it could be something as simple as this, guys. And if you want to state this out loud along with me, out loud, repeating the words, or write it down later, make it your own if you'd like. But it could be just something as simple as this. Sorry, team, there's a party going on next door. Some people are having a good time tonight. A lot of whooping and hollering here, laughing. Dear Melchizedek, I humbly ask and pray to have a stronger and deeper connection with you. I wish to see myself in your eyes. I wish to have a connection with you that I know and feel is real for me. I release all expectations around what this might feel like, be like, seem like. I'm open to receive you in whatever way, shape, or form you feel is most appropriate. Thank you so much, Melchizedek. And then they said, you know, go ahead and get quiet after you make that request. If you can, go into a meditative state. Team, you really need to make space for these connections. If your day is stacked, from the moment you wake up till the moment you close your eyes at night, it's going to be really hard to know when that sign comes in, when that connection is being made. You don't even have to call it meditation, but get quiet. Take this time for yourselves, even if it's only 10 minutes. Ideally, it's an hour, to be quite honest. As light workers here on the planet doing this work, we really want to make sacred space to connect with our higher selves, to connect with our energy fields, to connect with our hearts, our emotional bodies, to really, have a deep connection, not only with ourselves, with our heart, with love, but with our teams as well. So this is one of these times where getting quiet, making space, making time, investing in these relationships is so very important. I always really liked journaling, asking these questions, waiting for an answer to come and just writing it down. I'd also just pick up my phone and just start recording whatever would come. And remember that Melchizedek just said too, you can bring them your questions. So it's not just about creating a connection, but it's also, what do you need help with? Articulating that out loud, throat chakra stuff. Putting that intention in motion, bringing that manifestation in, creating it for yourself. All right, so that is super exciting. Please keep us all updated on what happens for you with this. We definitely tried that this week, and we all felt like we had a tangible experience. All right, moving on. That same night, the eclipse ceremony happened. We really have, I'm getting chills, many weeks of preparation happening here for this portal opening that we did on the night of the solar eclipse. Light codes coming through, light language coming through, energetic clearing of our fields, all of us feeling like we're gearing up for this. Also new connections being made. So even after all the women showed up here to the casitas, there was a lot of heart opening. We were actually working through trauma and grief, even on a personal level, really, I guess, not only for ourselves and, beyond the portal opening, but I do feel that it was a clearing, getting us ready to be clear for the energy frequencies coming through that we were asked to anchor here through the planet. Really feeling so supported. And everybody here, so there are five of us here for this portal opening, bringing each of our own unique gifts to the table, all of us working together, bringing our own. We had here ChriStar doing light language, Jess also doing light language, Ray circulating energy, processing trauma and grief in real time, anchoring light, balancing the energies. Cynthia was here, and she's incredible the way she can see things, the way she can kind of command, almost like command all these different guides and such, and bring all these forces together to make these connections, to open the portal, to, she's just so gifted. And also, by the way, Cynthia's decided as of this last week here, her time here, that she's really ready to open herself up and do more of her work with other people. So I'm going to put her contact information down below in the description, and for everybody here who's doing work with other people, with clients, with the public. If you want to connect with any of these women one-on-one, you're able to do that. They're ready and happy to assist. Okay, so she can really see what's going on. We're building Merkabas. We were meeting new beings that were coming through. We had met every day as a group here, preparing for this time, for this portal, and all these new beings coming through whom I'd never worked with before. A lot of elementals, the grandmother, Cynthia and her big collection of beings here, this collective of 90 and beyond beings who support her. Archangel Metatron, we had already built a Merkaba before our portal ceremony and connected with the grids. We've got a crystal grid underneath Baja here, and my team has talked about this before. Imagine that sparking up and activating even before we started our ceremony. We did a lot of work with the water here. Again, we've got a hot water aquifer that runs right under the casitas. All the water here that flows in our showers and sinks and in these hot tubs that I have here are all from this hot spring. And we did clearing on that, clearing on the Sea of Cortez. We met some water beings and understood kind of really how big this was going to be. It was so exciting. The elementals, the animal kingdom, the galactics, the angelic realm, all of this coming together. All right. During this portal, we seemed to create this triangulation. This was kind of a critical part of what we were doing. We built a bonfire. We all went out to the beach at 7 p.m. This lasted from about 7 to 10 p.m. the night of the eclipse. It was a triangulation between these ancient crystal beds. We saw them glowing, felt that energy, with the Sea of Cortez and with us in this circle, and then connecting straight up to the galactics. There were ships involved, there were stars involved, the great central sun. Again, creating this Merkaba, working with that energy, amplifying the energy, bringing it in. We had light language coming through. Cynthia, again, seeing how all of this was coordinating and to help us hold this light and anchor it down into the earth. Building energy for Mother Earth. It was huge. We also encountered what we thought to be some long-held confusion in the area. It may not have been necessarily just in Baja. Maybe it was, or maybe it's just a general confusion on the planet. It seemed more kind of localized, indigenous people, but transmuting that confusion, bringing clarity with our intention. Again, yeah, a lot of indigenous type of energy coming through. And we got the sense that there really has been a disconnect between people and the planet, people and Mother Earth, children and nature, and restoring those connections. There was a lot going on in these 3 hours here. Toward the end of the 3 hours, we saw ourselves back down in Antarctica, and Cynthia really got a sense for the deep, dark, evil energy that's there under the surface in the crust. And I did ask Melchizedek about this the next day, so I'll tell you what they had to say about this. But just some deep, dark, evil energy, and recognizing that it's there. We saw the positive reptilian queen again. I'd mentioned her before a few weeks ago, coming in to help us anchor love and light and send that right into the heart of this evil. A lot more work to be done there, I imagine. We had the 15D angelic realms also supporting us. So clearing the energy, setting of intentions, Melchizedek, bringing their light and energy, spinning this Merkaba, holding this grid open as we anchored this light into the planet. Toward the end, we saw a kind of a gathering of children with their hands together, holding this spark of light, kind of like in thanks, saying, okay, we've got this light here. We've got something to build upon. So it was quite beautiful. We packed it up around 10 p.m. went in. It was called it a day. All right. The next day, April 20th, Melchizedek, I had said, so how did we do last night? You know, did you have a sense for this? I'd love to be able to report back any feedback in this video that I'm making right now. And they said, Shawna, the work was palpable, the energy strong, sure, and important. Everyone on this side of the veil thanks you and your friends for such a beautiful, heart-giving, heart-centered act of kindness and service to humanity, to Mother Earth and beyond, to the past indigenous peoples, to trapped confusion energy. You brought hope and clarity to a wide plane of existence, and you anchored that most assuredly, they said. So that was really nice. And I said, can I ask you about Antarctica? And I said that deep, deep, dark energy that we sensed below the surface, I said, is that real? Is that there? Can you talk about it? And Melchizedek said, yes, Shawna, that was an accurate observation. We call this a negative reptilian stronghold. Deeply rooted, dear one, they said. That energy field goes deep into the Earth's crust, and it's fed by the inner workings of that base. And it also helps keep the Earth's vibration lower than it should. That negative reptilian stronghold impacts the entire planet and all of her existence, and all of her inhabitants, but it is not infallible, they said. They said, it can be transmuted, it can be removed, dear one, and you will help do this. I'm like, okay. I said, can you maybe tell me how I'm going to do that? And they said, not quite yet, dear one. I didn't think they'd answer me, but I thought I would ask. If you don't ask, you don't know. All right, so that was it for Melchizedek. Later that day, meeting with the 3 lieutenants. This was quite nice, actually, checking in with them. Racer comes in right away and is like, Shawna, what do you see? And I'm, in my mind's eye here, I'm seeing really large ships like gathered together. And when I see these ships, guys, it's they aren't like discs or small. These are huge ships that would never land because they have multiple tiers to them and they're not symmetrical. And there's a lot going on. Like imagine a ship the size of Texas, or larger even. And there's outcroppings underneath. There's multiple layers. Like I said, in some parts higher than others, and it's not ever anything that's going to land. So I saw these ships, and he says, what do you see? I said, well, I'm like, I see 4 ships, and I said, is this the Galactic Federation of Light? And he says, yes. He says, note that there are 5 ships because we're actually standing on a ship right now, and this is what you're looking at. I'm like, oh my goodness. And he says, we're not in active battle. The negative reptilians have retreated, or at least they're taking a break. And Racer was very excited about this. So he was showing me that they were no longer fighting and that these ships were regrouping. I said, that's wonderful news. I said, what happened? And he said, it's a combination of many things. It's a bit of exhaustion, it's regrouping, it is possibly reconsidering their strategy. We definitely do not feel that this is the end of the war, but it is a nice break and we welcome it. Okay, I said, that's wonderful. And I said, so are we on your ship, Racer? And he said, yes. I said, that's wonderful. Thank you for allowing me to be here. And he laughed at me and he says, You're here quite a bit, dear one. Okay, I said, so I've heard. So I've heard. And about the portal, they said, Shawna, we're so thankful for your efforts here. Great work, and it's not going unnoticed. It's important what you're doing. I said, thank you, Racer. We were kind of hoping when we're out there at night that we'd see some UFOs or ships up in the sky. We actually didn't. We had quite a cloud cover that kept coming by. We saw maybe a shooting star or two, but really no ships. So I'm like, hey, Racer, do you think you could help us see some ships in the sky, in the night sky sometime this week? And he said, to be honest, Shawna, it's doubtful, but I will see if there's something I can do. I said, thank you so much. And I said, we'd like it to be really obvious. We haven't seen anything yet, but we've been busy. All right. The next day, actually the next few days, really about a lot of energy work, just building this trust, this incredible trust. Melchizedek, again, just kind of sitting with them. They asked me, Shawna, keep your vessel light. Fruits, vegetables, plants, lots of water, being out in nature, getting good sleep. They said that my participation in their meetings has been invaluable, and there are many, many moving pieces in coordination. And again, keeping my vessel clear by eating light, drinking lots of water, increasing my exercise. This all helps my channeling, helps keep me clear. So it is important, and I think we're going to get more detailed information coming. So I'm working on it, doing good, feeling good. I feel like I'm floating sometimes. I'm feeling so good some days. So the April 23rd, so this has just been a couple of days ago, meeting back up with the 3 lieutenants. The fighting had started up again, and the overall feel was somber, and that was just kind of a short connection. But been working a lot with Racer specifically. I feel like what we're doing is he's helping me to really understand more deeply, experientially, how to send love, how to really transmit that love to somebody unconditionally. So just being really comfortable and trusting with this being Racer, you know, in my space, just right here, in my body, even like beyond just right here in my face, but allowing his presence to enter my field. So I'm doing this a lot with these guides, done it with Melchizedek, a couple others as well, just allowing this melding of consciousness, a melding of our fields to take place, and just trusting in that and being able to be vulnerable to love. You know, it's kind of one thing like, oh, I'm going to send you love and light. But it's a whole nother thing to be just super intimate in this way, not in a sexual way at all, but just being completely open and no guards, just allowing this love exchange to happen. It's quite something, and it's definitely a learned skill. Like, this doesn't come naturally for me to be like that, to be open like that, but I do feel like it's really important for where we're going as a collective, for me personally, letting this heart lead. And even this week with the women here, connecting to our hearts more deeply, connecting to our own innate wisdom, leaving behind relationships that close our hearts, that are difficult, that are a struggle, that don't feel supportive, where we're not feeling honored, just being out of alignment and frequencies, you know, allowing our hearts to come forward and be vulnerable. You know, what does the heart want to say? You know, putting our stories behind us, or putting them to the side. Just knowing ourselves more deeply as love. I've got to, like I said, I've got to learn this. I'm learning it. So it's just beautiful. Today I ran ChriStar to the airport. I just had a few minutes with Melchizedek, and they said that they send their love and they look forward to continuing to support all of you through these affirmations that they talked about earlier. All right, team. So that's really everything. One of the people here is a professional photographer. We're going to do a photo shoot the next couple of days. I'm looking forward to that. Get out in the water, do some splashing around, get a massage as we wind down this retreat that I've been doing for the last 10 days. So much gratitude for all of you, team. Let me know how you're doing. Thanks for all your love and support. Thanks for all the donations that have been coming in. You guys are the best. All right, I'm going to sign out for the night. I love you. I love each of you unconditionally. Mwah.